La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Everybody. Everybody. Whoa, I look like all orange and stuff. How come I look all orange? Anyone know why I look all orange? Anybody? Greg? Hi everybody, my name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's always nicer when you're here. I'm getting the audio looping, so I'm gonna try and shut that down in a minute when Craig's done with the mouse. But he's fixing. I don't know what he's fixing. It's on the wrong camera. That's the problem. Okay. Well, okay. Okay. Well, I don't know why it's all orange. Do you? Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Hi, UTN. Barry, long time no see, man. It's always better when you're here, Barry. Much better. Now I look like the girl on the Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's see. Okay, so this is my YouTube page, Mox News. Okay, in case you guys aren't familiar with it, this is Mox News, right? And there's like 11,000 videos on this one Mox News YouTube page. So so if you're new to Mox News, please be sure and take a minute and look around because there's a lot to see here. And I spend a lot of time picking out each and every video myself, uploading it, making sure that it looks just right. And it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort, but mostly it's because it's worthy, to make sure that the videos are worthy of your time. Okay, so. And that's the whole point of this, is and that's what I do here at Mox News, at YouTube at Mox News. I build libraries of videos that are of value to all mankind. And for whatever reason that Google believes that it's okay to just burn those libraries down, set them on fire, torch them, act like they never existed in the first place, is disgusting. I mean, if you were to imagine what Mox News would be like, if let's say Google hadn't shut down any of Mox News YouTube pages, or any of my YouTube pages that I built from 2003. Okay, I started this in 2003. Imagine if YouTube had just let me build archives, right? There would be 70,000 videos on one YouTube page, and it would be of such great value to all humanity. And for whatever reason, Google has taken that away from humanity. Google has burned those libraries to the ground again and again and again, without a blink of an eye, without a second thought, acting as if they were doing something good. And it's disgusting. And I just hey, marijuana community, it's always better when the marijuana community is here, like I said, I've been doing this now since 2003 on the Google, on the YouTube. I was doing it on Google before YouTube. Before there was a YouTube, I was posting on Google for about 2 years, Google videos. And like I said, I built these archives of videos, right, that are of value to all humanity, and this is my business card. right? This is my business card, and you see right there at the top it says knowledge is free. You see that? Knowledge is free. That's what I've been doing. I've been spreading knowledge. I've been doing my best. Not knowledge that benefits Republicans or liberals or any little group. I've been doing spreading knowledge far and wide to the best of my ability for everyone, because that's what I appear to be good at it. And I've built these amazing archives for the entire planet to enjoy, and for whatever reason, Google just burns them down. Like it's no big deal, right? Something that's of value to all humanity, and Google just burns it to the ground. And that's what you do when you help Mox News. When you give a donation to Mox News, you make it so that I can build these archives, I can stay strong, I can be making something good happen for everyone, not just this group or that group, but everyone, or at least try, and I believe I have to some extent. I know that I have. And then Google just acts. I mean, you know what it would be like to have 70,000 videos that I posted, that I picked out, that I posted, and that all of you commented on, and shared your thoughts in that moment when it happened, and not just you, but so many people. I mean, if Google takes down this archive of videos, they will delete millions and millions of comments. And the comments can never be replaced. I've said again and again and again, it's you guys that add the flavor to Mox News. It's you guys that make Mox News really, truly of value. Because if you guys weren't here, this would be ridiculous. This would be meaningless. But then Google just comes along and just burns it to the ground. This amazing archive, 10,000 videos, millions and millions of comments, tens of thousands of links back and forth across the internet, shared far and wide. Google burns it to the ground and acts like nothing happened. I mean, this is a crime against humanity that you are committing, YouTube, Google. Understand, you're choosing to be this, okay? You don't have to be this. You could be fighting for freedom of speech. You could be fighting for fair use rights. You could be the Goliath that stands up for the little guy, as YouTube was genuinely intended to be. But instead, you choose a different path, Google. You choose the dark side, okay? The side that buries information, the side that burns books, the side that burns libraries. That's who you choose to be, Google. Okay? And one day it's going to come out. I mean, the whole world is going to understand that's who you chose to be, YouTube management. That's who you chose to be, Google. One day the whole world will understand that you are not in the slightest a force for good. You are pure and utter evil. So, thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for being part of this for so long. It's always better when you're here. Like I said, if you guys who give Mox News a flavor, it's you guys who add so much to Mox News, and it's you guys who should be almost just as outraged as me when Google acts in this fashion. When Google burns libraries that you've contributed to, libraries that are of value to all humanity. You should be outraged. Where are the lawyers? Where is the ACLU? There are crimes against humanity being committed by YouTube and Google, and it needs to stop. And somebody you would think would have the cojones to stand up to them and make it stop. All right. So. Package. I haven't gone to the mailbox yet, UTN. I will try and get there this weekend. It's like a 2-hour round trip drive to the post office. to my box, to my mailbox. So I have to, especially if you catch it at the wrong time, traffic in Seattle. So I have to try and get there this weekend. That's all I can say. Hopefully I'll get it before Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to that curly whirly. She sent me a curly whirly. UTN sent me a curly whirly. You sent me a curly whirly, didn't you, UTN? You know I want a curly whirly. What the hell is this now? The other phone is ringing. Okay, again, my name's Mike. This is my YouTube page. There's at least 11,000 videos on this one Mox News YouTube page. Please be sure and take a good look around because each and every video was hand-selected by myself to be of value to all humanity. So, if you there might be some stuff in there that you have missed out on if you're not familiar with it. And if you want to see the whole archive, YouTube has again made that complicated because this archive goes back to the last presidential election where Donald Trump was elected president over Hillary Clinton. So if you want to see from the beginning, you have to go, when you go to the videos page, you have to go to last video or first video posted, or what does it say? Let's see. Videos page. Let's see. Where's that at? Upload. All videos. All videos. Alright. So you have to go and you have to put, let's see. It says, oh man, what the hell is going on here? That's not what I'm looking for. Just a minute now. Just a minute now. Hold on. Hold on. Alright, sort by. You go to sort by, and then you go by oldest date. So if you go by oldest date, right, then what you will find is you'll find a whole bunch of monologues of me after I got kicked off the last Mox News YouTube page. And then you'll find the whole record. But it goes, that the only way to go back 4 years is to go by date, by oldest video. So that's the only way to see the whole 11,000 videos on this page. Because, again, that's another way that YouTube is playing games and censoring people and acting like, oh, we don't want this person getting extra views. Because that's the kind of people they choose to be. It's a choice, Google. It's a choice, YouTube management. And that's what you've done. You've made that choice to be evil. So, it's your choice. You can correct it. You can correct it. And we can go, oh, thank God Google isn't evil anymore. Google made a choice to stand for freedom of speech instead of the almighty dollar. Because that's all that Google cares about at this moment. And that's what's wrong with the world. There's way too many people are like that. Free speech is all there is. If we don't have free speech, we don't have anything. If we don't have free speech, we are not free. So Google is trying, as I said again and again, it's the people in Washington that are trying to take our freedom, but they're allowing Google to do it. They're empowering Google to do it. Google probably should have been broken up a long time ago, but the people in Washington, like, they're the only threat to our free speech. But someone has to stand up when there's like a Goliath like Google, like YouTube, and they're messing with people's freedom of speech. Okay, because that's what YouTube is meant to be all about, is freedom of expression. And here's what makes the world a better place, is that you get to know me, and this is what I think, and this is how I do this, and this is what I do. Because that's what YouTube is supposed to be, and instead of that, it's become this big corporate, got to make a buck out of it, and it's not at all what it's meant to be. It's meant to be the most amazing platform on the planet, where if you need to figure out how to do this, or you need to figure out how to do that, you go to YouTube and you type in change laptop screen, or fix laptop screen, or whatever it is you need to do. And there's somebody there, and they're on camera, and they're showing you how to pick, and you can type in specific type of computer that you have. And it's like right there, over and over. And that's what makes YouTube beautiful. Is all these people doing their thing and sharing it with the world. Not these corporate fucking juggernauts. They have nothing to add. Their flavor is poison. And that's what's happened, is that all these corporate entities have glommed onto YouTube, and now the only flavor here is poison. You know? So, anyways, it's the weekend. Hey, look at that. What's happening there? There is a phone call. Hello, caller. How are you?
Hey, Max. How are you doing?
I am good. Is Chris?
It is, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing really well.
Right on.
I was listening to, I don't know, I've seen a lot of strange things today, and I wanted to share them with other people to make sure I wasn't completely crazy. But remember there was that coup in Bolivia?
Uh-huh.
And remember that there was a German company that was buying for the rights to the lithium, and they lost the contract.
Right.
And then the contract kind of like was up in the air, and then like a couple days later he was overthrown. And also, a day or two after that, Elon Musk, a South African entrepreneur who lives in America, he said, "I'm going to make a new car factory in Berlin, right? A new Tesla factory, like one of it's called like Tesla number 4 or something like that, used car factory in Germany." And it's kind of interesting because all of the hoopla about Greta Thunberg driving around in a Tesla given to her by Arnold Schwarzenegger this past summer is going to really play well for Elon Musk when he tries to sell these Tesla cars to like the generation people who are like, "Whoa, yeah, I remember that. Greta was driving around in a car." You remember that, Mike?
Who? What?
Greta Thunberg?
Oh,
Remember
yeah, I
Greta
remember.
Thunberg?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, she was in a Tesla
Yeah,
driving across Canada and North America.
yeah.
Right.
They have a
Anyway.
highway. They have a highway in Canada where if you drive an electric car, they have like electric outlets, like rest stops every so often, and you can drive from one end of Canada to the other for free if you drive an electric car on that highway. Isn't that cool?
Well, that is kind of cool, but I wanted to point out this article because I kind of wonder about like whether or not electric cars are that environmentally cool or not, right? I mean,
They're not.
Yeah, I mean,
They're not.
They're not.
Yeah.
So there was this article today that I saw. It was in CNN Business, and it said Tesla reveals Cybertruck, Cybertruck, a Cybertruck, but breaks its unbreakable windows during the unveiling.
Yeah,
And,
I saw that video. Did you see that video?
Yeah, I didn't watch the video, but I read a couple articles about it, and they said the glass was bulletproof glass, but somebody threw a rock at it, and the glass broke, and there's photographs of the broken glass with Elon Musk standing behind it.
I think that's a publicity stunt. I think the idea, because I saw them. They tested the glass in the video first by dropping like a 20-pound weight on it, and the glass didn't break. And then they threw a rock at the glass, and the glass broke. So I think it was like I honestly think it was a publicity stunt, because they're like, should I do it? Should I do it? There's like a big buildup, and there's like, oh! So it's like, and so like all the headlines are Tesla's new pickup unbreakable glass breaks during initial whatever, and all that people hear, right, is Tesla's making a truck. Holy shit! So it's like a publicity stunt. You know what I mean?
I hear you. Kind of like sending a sports car, a Tesla sports car into space.
Yeah.
Like how many car companies have a car that's like just in orbit around the Earth somewhere, right?
Right.
Not very many companies. It is definitely a publicity stunt on the lines of like Virgin the guy who started Virgin Airlines, right? That character, the British billionaire.
Yeah, Richard
same
Branson.
kind of program.
Richard Branson.
Yeah, all about publicity. But what's interesting about this truck, and folks can go and take a look at it, or just Google like Elon Musk Cybertruck.
Motherfucking
But
ugly truck. It's a motherfucking ugly truck.
it kind of reminds me of the those. Remember that the sports car, the guy who got busted with all of the cocaine, and then it was in Back to the Future, a DeLorean sports car.
Yeah, right. He was building DeLorean sports cars, and he was transporting cocaine inside of them.
Well, I would say that Elon Musk's truck resembles a DeLorean sports car in its like design. It seems to be like really cut, like in rectangular. You know, they said that it's just the whole body is made out of like one piece of steel or something like that.
Really? Wow.
But what's interesting about it is it says another eye-catching feature about this truck is its price. This is from CNN. It says the base version of the truck will start at $39,900. That's $10,000 more than the price of the base model of a Ford F-150, which starts at $30,000, which is just a normal truck. But it would compete well with the cost of a nicely equipped F-150. An F-150 Lariat Supercab, for example, starts at $44,000. Prices for the top-end tri-motor AWD version of the Cybertruck start at $70,000. Buyers will also be able to choose Tesla's self-driving option for $7,000. The truck should be able to drive itself once the software for this becomes available. So, for $40,000, you can buy a very nice F-150, or you can go out there on a limb and buy this truck that's an electric car. It's competitive.
No, I was pretty surprised by the price too. But I saw somebody bought a Tesla the other day. I saw some story, and they found out that the battery had to be changed on it, and it was going to cost them $30,000 to get a new battery put in it.
Yeah, and there's another. That is true. It's expensive to maintain, and if you need to replace the battery, it's pretty expensive. But also this whole environmental advantage that people assume that because they're driving an electric car, they get an advantage environmentally, like they're not damaging the environment as much as other people are. But from what I understand, it's like 63 kilograms or something of lithium in one of these batteries. And this lithium comes from places like Bolivia, like Chile, like Argentina, like China. There's only so many places on Earth where these minerals even are, where there are deposits of these minerals, and they're used for these batteries. And we're going to inevitably run out of the material by using it kind of haphazardly just for consumption, like for consumer products. Like in 100 years, what are we going to think when we think we use all of the world's lithium in 100 years so that we could have personalized motor vehicles to take us from one place to another, but now all of the lithium is gone? You know what I mean?
No, I don't think it'll last 100 years, honestly, if the corporations have their way. And the problem is it probably could accomplish the same thing with 1/10 of the amount of lithium, except for they're using this fucking 19th century technology or 20th century technology instead of moving forward and making something happen in the world like we should be making happen. You know what I mean? I know.
I do know what you mean. But the other point there is there's geopolitical implications to what happened with that coup in Bolivia a couple weeks ago. And basically China had an agreement to mine lithium, and they were going to work with the Bolivian government to mine Bolivia's resources in conjunction with a company that's like the national mining company of Bolivia. And the German mining company that backed out, I can't find the name, I could find it quickly, but it was like a multinational corporation that backed out of agreements with the government of Bolivia, did so because they didn't want to cooperate with the national mining company of Bolivia, so that Bolivia would have less oversight over their own resources.
Yeah.
And that's why they backed out. Whereas the Chinese said, we will develop the lithium with you and give you a fair deal. So we'll train engineers, we'll train miners, we'll help you out, we'll help you develop your resource, and you will get a substantial proportion of the profits off of the deal. And that's why they went with the Chinese company. So the fact that this coup occurred also kind of is relative to the geopolitical reality in the world, the anti-China, anti-Russia, anti-Iran sentiment that's really popular these days in like American politics. And it's really foolish because China's economy is growing faster than any other economy in the world. It isn't a matter of like whether like Billy Ray Jimboff is a smart motherfucker and he can make cars better and faster and cheaper than those folks can, because the bottom line, Mike, is he can't. He cannot. He cannot do that. Billy Ray Jimboff cannot do that.
Well,
therefore, the balance of power in the world means that other actors in the world, people who live in China, people who live in other countries in the world, will have more say in the world's economy. It's a fact.
Well, right? I mean, with this Belt and Road thing, man, it seems like they're really trying to sink their roots in all the way around the world and make sure.
Well, why shouldn't they? If they're one out of every four people.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying.
I know you're not.
Yeah, I love Chinese people. I think that Chinese people. I find China. I find Chinese history fucking fascinating. I really like.
But sink their teeth into kind of implies like a carnivore sink their teeth into. I mean, I think they're naturally expanding, and that what we see as Asia is really all the way from China to Portugal, and from the Arctic Circle all the way to the Middle East. That's what Asia is. And we've kind of separated Europe from Asia for the longest time in our mind. But in reality, those markets should be like flowing back and forth, just like they did when Marco Polo, went to China to try and find Silk Road. It's always been integrated.
I'm glad to see China doing that. I'm so surprised. The United States acts like by China trying to do business in this Belt and Road fashion, which is, I think, an amazing effort. Reaching out to the world.
It's global. It's global in terms of like.
But the United States acts like it's some kind of an act of war or something. They're just out of their freaking mind.
Because the American elite have assumed these kind of like imperial powers. They act like the emperor is what they do. And they assume that anybody who has other agendas or has other programs are threatening their legitimacy, their hegemony, their ability to control the planet. And it is true, because, if you think about it, like, what the fuck were we doing in Vietnam, Moss?
We were lied into Vietnam, just like we were lied into, every other.
We may have been lied into Vietnam, but somebody made the decision to go to war in Southeast Asia, and that somebody or those individuals who profited off of that decision are people who live in this country, just like the people who died from this country.
Just like the people that are profiteering off the wars now.
Perhaps. But they were Americans, and they fought, or they put their program forward in the name of American empire and power. And the people who died there died as a consequence of that, but also as a part of that. And that's inevitable. It's part of the process. Like in Germany. When Germany invaded Poland and invaded Russia, there were a lot of really good people in Germany who said, fuck, of course I support my country. And they did. And they died. And they were victims of the empire.
It's not look, man, it's not a matter of supporting your country, okay? When you get invaded, you're not supporting your country, you're supporting your neighbors, you're supporting your home. I was speaking to people who were drafted during the Vietnam War. Parents told them to go and fight in the war, to fight for America. I was talking about those people, Mike. Well, you just said Germany invaded.
No, I'm saying it's very similar, because people who lived in Germany in the 1940s also loved their children, and they loved their country. Just like people in the late 60s who had kids in high school who were graduating, who were being drafted into the Vietnam War. But those people in Germany said, my kids are going to go and fight for the Reich. And they sent their kids off to die, just like Americans did in Vietnam. It's exactly the same. And both of them fought for private corporations. Krupp Steel, IG Farben, and all of the American corporations that sponsored the Third Reich. But it's the same with Americans. We fight for big banks, dude. We overthrew that government in Bolivia for like banks, basically, and big mining interests.
Yeah, I think that's
We're the
pretty
same.
obvious. I think that's pretty obvious. I mean, even
It's really
Bernie Sanders said so, right?
He did say so, like I said the other day. He said so in the newspapers, but he did not say so on the debate stage, and that was disappointing. But he did say so, and he was the only one, Mike, and that really fucking says a lot, especially for people who are going to be pimping for Elizabeth Warren or pimping for Buttigieg or whoever the fuck they think is going to be the candidate, the Democratic nominee. The fact that those people never spoke out about this coup that occurred in Bolivia, pretty telling as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. I mean, the candidates are extremely. I think it seems to me that as far as international policy goes, the candidates are almost always incredibly weak. Or if they're not, we don't even hear about it.
Not at all. So there were two articles from The Guardian, and I'll go real quick, but one of them was, if you recall the other day I said the best thing that could happen for Prince Andrew is if he retired from public life.
Yeah.
Hey, good news, Mike. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, he doesn't seem to have much other choice, really.
Not much. Here's what The Guardian said today. Prince Andrew's private office to be moved out of Buckingham Palace.
Wow.
So the Duke intends to keep working on mentoring schemes despite saying he would step back from public life. But anyway, they're leaving his private office in Buckingham Palace as he seeks a way to maintain control of an entrepreneurial scheme he set up despite having agreed to step back from public life. So he's involved in some nonprofit called Pitch at Palace scheme, and he's going to be able to keep participating in that, but that's it. Everything else, including his £270,000 a year salary, is going to be taken away from him, and his family is going to move into a compound in the royal.
I posted a video of them like 5 years ago. Him and his wife, I think, in a car, and they were surrounded by protesters, and the protesters were screaming, "Off with their heads! Off with their heads!" I don't know if you remember that. It's a great fucking video.
That sounds pretty hilarious. So there was also this other story I stumbled upon this afternoon. It was from I like to go to local newspapers for sources, Mike, because I know that there's 100 different newspapers in America, and most people don't scan all of the newspapers in America.
I check the news I step away and do other things, and I check the news, right? And I always, if the latest news was the local, I always go to the local first, because if I turn on the local and they're talking about the weather at the top of the news, I know there's nothing going on,
Well, I found this today, and it was from the Duluth newspaper in Duluth, Minnesota. And it was posted November 22nd at 1 o'clock. So it goes today. And this is what the headline says. Suspected fentanyl seized in Duluth, enough to kill more than 26,000 people. 2 men are being held in the St. Louis County Jail after being arrested Thursday night by agents of the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension with 80 grams of suspected pure fentanyl in their possession. The seized powder was sent to the BCA drug laboratory, according to the news release. If it is fentanyl, it would be the largest single seizure of fentanyl in Minnesota this year, according to BCA.
Dang.
Fentanyl is up to 100 times stronger than morphine, and only a few milligrams can kill a person, BCA Superintendent Drew Evans said in the news release. The drugs seized during the operation would have been enough to kill more than 26,000 people. That's the
You
whole
know, you
article.
know what's
It's like
interesting
the
is like now they're saying it's 100 times stronger than morphine, and 6 months ago, a year ago, they were saying it's 10,000 times stronger than morphine. You remember
that
that?
number always keeps changing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not an opioid user, so I can't really speak about this. I don't have an opinion about it, right?
Yeah.
But my general opinion would be along these lines is like I don't really see the appeal to it, right? Even if it's just like a milligram off or a microgram off or whatnot, like that little bit is enough to make like a really amazing trip into like a death trip. So I don't really see the appeal to it personally.
No,
but
I've said again and again, we have to legalize drugs, right? And then when you're at the because no one will use drugs like that when they're legal. The reason people use drugs like that is because they're desperate for something, right? So if it was Friday night and everybody's going to the party store to get their party supplies, I'll take an eighth of fucking cocaine and I'll have fucking 6 grams of this weed and that whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the guy steps up, and the guy steps up and says, I want a gram of fentanyl. Everybody else in the store is going to take a fucking step and a half backward, because they don't want to be
really
anywhere
near.
That? That's what I'm saying. There's no real market. It's not going to happen. What?
Does somebody love you, Brad? Yeah. No, I hear you. So I also found 2 articles from the National Organization to Normalize Marijuana Laws, right, or NORML. And this is one, and this was posted on the 7th of November. It says, there's a poll, most Americans in the United States support ending federal cannabis criminalization. And I think we've known this, but this is an actual article at NORML. It says this. It says, more than 6 in 10 U.S. adults say that they favor changing federal law to legalize marijuana for recreational use, according to a national polling data compiled by the Washington, D.C. publication Politico, which actually is a pretty moderate Democratic source, right? And Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health, another liberal source. It is the 3rd national survey released within the past month showing strong majority support among Americans for legalizing marijuana. 62% of respondents endorsed legalization, and 69% said that they supported allowing the substance to be sold at state-licensed retail stores. Support for legalization was strongest among self-identified independents, 69%, and Democrats, 67%. Slight majorities also said that they supported the establishment of state-licensed cannabis cafes, 52%, and were comfortable with recreational marijuana facilities operating in their local neighborhoods. 53% of people polled said, I don't have a problem with like 3 doors down the street, like they're running like a cannabis shop. Who cares? So it's a reflection, not that polls are always accurate, I agree with you, but it's a general reflection about how attitudes are changing in the United States regarding cannabis, and that's a good thing. Okay, the second article from NORML was posted on the 14th of November, so about a week ago, and it says this: cannabis use among post-traumatic stress patients associated with reduced depression. Here's a quote. Canadian researchers assessed the use of cannabis among post-traumatic stress patients in a nationally representative sample. Researchers reported that PTS patients who did not consume cannabis were approximately 7 times more likely to have experienced a recent major depressive episode and 4.7 times more likely to have thoughts of suicide as compared to those who acknowledged using marijuana. And that study was conducted in Vancouver and was published at the Journal of Psychopharmacology. And the article was posted at NORML a week ago, the 14th of November. And the reason I always say that, the dates and the site, is because I really do encourage people who listen to your radio show to visit these websites and see that, like, I'm not just like making stuff up out of my head. It's like they're real things that are happening in the world. including
And
shifting
Normel's
attitudes.
Normel's an awesome organization too.
They've done good work. Like, I mean, despite their kind of like like we've talked about the other day with John Boehner and this kind of like this both corporate Republican and corporate Democrat acceptance of marijuana means that like kind of more corrupt influences of money are influencing the market, including people like John Boehner using their name to step in for these corporate cannabis corporations. So I don't know if legalization is there's some drawbacks, and I agree with you. And when the initiative in Washington State was passed for legalization, Mike, I was with you. I understand the counter argument because all of my friends who are growers, dealers, and people who are associated with medical marijuana said that it wasn't a good deal, the legalization campaign. But the reason I supported it was
and you
because
remember how it happened? How they rolled the legalization out? It took like a year and a half or something, and then there was no weed in any of the stores when they opened the fucking stores because they wouldn't let anybody grow weed in time to be able to stock the store.
You know, I have been arrested in Washington State for possession of marijuana. I do have a criminal penalty for that, and I find it to be absurd that that wasn't immediately expunged as soon as like cannabis was legalized.
Yeah.
But you got to realize that we live in the Pacific Northwest in this kind of puritanical state. I believe, some people call it a nanny state, but I think it's actually a little deeper than that. Like, I think there's some kind of religious shit going on here, where like mostly white people. It's fact. Mostly white people, mostly Protestants, and they feel guilty. They fucking feel guilty, and they will not like admit that they were wrong, so that they punish these people for like 30 years or something, giving them these marijuana sentences and ruining their lives. They can't get jobs, they can't find housing because they have a marijuana arrest or whatnot, and they never like give those people recourse, even though they claimed to be the most liberal people in the world when it came to marijuana policy. So I really applaud the people in Colorado and Oregon and Alaska who allow people to grow, and also the states that have expunged records, including, like I mentioned last week, Illinois, which is going to allow. I was born in Illinois, and I got arrested for herb in Illinois when I was 19 years old in the 80s.
Yeah.
And now I found out that when I got arrested when I was 19 in Illinois, that's gone. That's going to be expunged next week or something, or in 2 weeks. But when I got arrested as an adult in Washington State, that's still in my record. Although the governor of Washington claims to be much more liberal than the governor of Illinois. Isn't that ironic, Mike?
I do not think very highly of Jay Inslee as the leader of this state. I think that he's a horrible leader and that he needs to go away. But unfortunately,
of an attitude.
It just boils down again to turd sandwich or giant douche, and we're going to wind up with the same giant douche because nobody wants a fucking turd sandwich. So there you go.
Well, yeah, the lesser of two evil voting, that is load voting. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, I agree with you, and it's a great argument for not voting. But at the same time, not voting really means giving your opponent the advantage.
I'm not arguing for not voting. I want people to recognize, what it is that we're dealing with.
I voted for a third-party candidate on the federal level, but on the state level, I didn't have that option. There wasn't a plausible third-party candidate against Jay Inslee or whatever Republican clown was running in the Washington state gubernatorial race. So I didn't have any fucking options there.
Yeah.
When I do have an option, I will vote for a third party, but that isn't even really a panacea for what I'm talking about, because if you even vote for the third party, you still are allowing Donald Trump to win. You're allowing the Republicans to win. And I don't believe in lesser of two evil voting. I would never vote for Hillary Clinton because I just would never vote for a Democrat. But still, I can't, feel great about the fact that these people who are slashing environmental programs, slashing taxes for the rich, allowing rampant economic growth, slashing labor laws, all of this shit has been happening in the last 2 years, and all the Democrats have spoken about are Russia-gate conspiracies related to Hillary Clinton in 2016, right? Do you get that? Like how this Russiagate thing has like diverted the public's attention away from what Donald Trump's policies actually have done?
I think, yeah, I totally get that. I think that the news is that's the problem, is that there's no it's this fucking agenda-driven shit that's like has nothing to do with the reality of the situation, and I hate it.
Yeah. So even if you voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary in whatever place, whatever in Iowa or New Hampshire or South Carolina or here in Washington, wherever you voted for you voted for Bernie in 2016. At the end of the day, Bernie Sanders and Debbie Wasserman Schultz endorsed the same candidate, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
No, and I mean,
think about that.
You don't got. I mean, we've talked about this, and it's disgusting, and that's why Bernie. That's why Bernie isn't overwhelmingly the primary at the top of all the polls in this candidacy. Because if he had the same support that he had in 2016, he would be leading this race right now. But he does not, for that exact reason.
Well, he doesn't because they ran 7 candidates against him who were neoliberal.
No, it's for the exact reason that you just said. Because if he had walked away, if he had stood up, if he had said, fuck the Democrats, but then he wouldn't be on stage with them then,
No, but he would have 10% of the population supporting him, building up more support if he ran as a Green.
He'd still have more support.
And it would be more authentic as well. It would be more authentic. Like he would be actually supporting his values instead of like some bullshit rhetoric to encourage you to vote for Democrats.
Standing up for some values instead of supporting some fucking giant douche or turd sandwich. So let me ask you, Chris. Let me ask you something before you go.
Shoot.
I'm wondering if we're doing the live show too many nights a week, and I should be doing it less.
Maybe.
Okay. All right.
Maybe. No, that's a good idea. Maybe, because I can see it being really time-consuming, like 15 hours a week.
No, it's not about me. It's about other people. It's about you guys. I don't want you guys to be like bored of this. I want you looking forward to it. So I was thinking if we were doing it, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, maybe people.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But and also I do appreciate the other callers too. I know that some people think I'm a hog with time, and I apologize for that. But I want to just say that like I do appreciate all of the calls.
Well, you can hear. I'm not trying to get you off the phone, right?
I know you're not.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that as like kind of a general statement to like a broader community. But there's one more thing I want to say, and then I will go. And this was from The Guardian as well. And I usually share stuff with you from The Onion, right? Or try to like share stories with you that are almost like The Onion, but are The Onion.
Right? No, I think you've actually only shared like one story from The Onion, but
right.
I get what you're saying. You're saying
this is a real story. This is a real headline, and if you think about it, it really does. It is really bordering on like the world news or like the Onion, right? So this is the story. It's from The Guardian today. It says, Greta Thunberg, time traveler? Girl in photo from 1898 resembles activist. Girl in viral image looks similar to activist in both the intensity of her stare and her braided hair, prompting Twitter jokes. Could Greta Thunberg be a time traveler sent from the future to save humanity from the unfolding climate crisis? A cadre of Twitter users seems to believe so, after the photograph of a young Klondike gold miner bearing a striking resemblance to the Swedish activist was discovered this week. The now viral 1898 image of 3 children operating a gold mine in Canada's Yukon Territory is part of a sprawling collection by the documentary photographer Eric Egg. Near the end of the 19th century, the Swedish American captured many of the most iconic images of people hoping to make their fortunes in the rugged north. One of the children looks eerily similar to the 16-year-old activist famous for her Friday climate strikes in both the intensity of her stare and her long braided hair. To those saying, how can she be in the past if she's from the future? Obviously, as a time traveler, she can travel to any period. She's obviously tried to go back 120 years. Didn't work, and now she's here. Obviously, tweeted the writer Jack Strange. None of the children in the photograph are named, making it difficult to determine their identities. Only the date and location, Dominion Creek, are known. The image nonetheless captures the gritty reality many families face as they searched frenetically for gold. Peg herself dabbled in mining in addition to lugging heavy camera gear throughout the region, but never struck gold. Archivists at the University of Washington in Seattle, however, are doubtful a photograph in their collection is evidence of time traveling. Peg's collection was donated to the UW more than 50 years ago, and the image has long been known to staff not for its resemblance to Thunberg, but for the fact it depicted such young children working in a mining operation. We've had about 15 to 20 requests just to talk about the photograph, and we're getting into almost the triple digits now in terms of requests to use the photograph. Lisa Oberg, an archivist at the university, told the CBC. Ever since '97, the university's digitalized collection has been available to search online, meaning facial recognition software might have mistakenly picked up the young miner's face when searching for Thunberg. So, it's real. Greta Thunberg's a time traveler. It was right there. I read it in The Guardian. It's true.
She's a witch, I tell
No,
ya.
she's a time traveler, man. She's like out of a movie from the past.
You know, she's a little girl who's getting a lot of pressure put on her, and I think she's handling it with the like a champ. So
Like a lady. Like, I mean, she's getting a lot of support from really cool people like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And, I mean, anybody in a position like that, God bless her. And all that said and done, I just want to say I hope you have some good calls later tonight. And it's always a pleasure talking with you, Mike. Thank you.
all right, Chris, it's good to hear from you. Thanks so much. Good.
Yeah,
Talk to you
good
soon.
night. Bye-bye.
Bye. That guy is full of information, and it's good to have people like that around, right? So, anyways, anybody got any big plans for the weekend? I must clean everything. Okay, so I did this amazing thing. I made an amazing thing happen today, right? Okay, you want to hear this story? Right. So, I'm getting ready to set up the garden, and I have enough lights for one tent. I have one tent that has 3 compartments, and I have 4 lights that go into that tent. But I have another tent which is like a beautiful, brand new, top of the line tent, right? And so I wrote these guys who have this really awesome light, and I was like, your light is awesome. I'd love to be able to do your light. And they said, oh, we'd love for you to do our light too. And it's like I have this 4x4 space, and like, oh, that'd be great. This will fit this light perfect. And like, here's the deal: you buy the light, and then send us the receipt, and then make a video of you unboxing the light, and then make a couple of videos of you gardening with the light, and then we'll reimburse you the money. And I was like, oh, well, that's like a really, really good deal, right? But I'm not going to be able to make that happen before the first of the year, you know. I said it's a really good deal, and I really look forward to working with you guys sometime in the future, and I hope that you'll be interested in making me the same offer in January, and oh, and by the way, I said I have a new sponsor that signed on. The Octopots people have said that they're going to send us out some pots so we can do their kind of gardening, and then also the horticulture lighting group has sent me a light to do our quest, but they also sent a tent, so I have to put their light in their tent, and that still leaves the Gorilla Grow tent open, right? And this is like the horticulture lighting group. I mean, this is like their competition. That's like the main market they want to tap into, right? And they're like, oh, well, so I have an open space in the Gorilla Grow tent, and I can still make this, I could do a side-by-side grow of this, HLG 550 versus the Spider Farmer 4000, and they're like, oh, we really want that. And so they wrote me back and they go, okay, how about if we send you the money and then you buy the light, off of Amazon, and then do the videos, and then we're good. I said, that sounds like you're making me an offer that I can't refuse. And they went, all right. So what's your PayPal? And they sent me $700 today, and said, now go buy the light. I went and bought the light. So I have a new fucking Spider Farmer 4000 on the way. Gonna fucking blow up that Gorilla Grow tent. And we're gonna do a side-by-side competition with the HLG 550, which was my dream light. It was the light I really wanted to have in a tent. And then they sent out the tent, and it's a 3-compartment tent, so it has like a space for babies and a space for mommies. So that has 3 other lights in it in the separate compartments. And then I have the Gorilla Grow tent, which is now going to have the Spider Farmer 4000 in it, and I have over 60 different strains of cannabis from 19 different award-winning seed breeders. So I have like the ultimate grow setup. I have sponsors that are like chomping at the bit to be part of it, and I think we should just grow weed for a while because what else could you ask for? So I got that going for me, which is nice. I don't know why I can't just do things simple. Just go, okay, we got a tent. Let's just learn how to grow weed with this tent. No, I gotta have 2 tents. I gotta have 2 gigantic powerhouse lights. I gotta have fucking 60 strains of marijuana to grow. I can't just do something simple, man. Why can't I just do something simple, dude? What is wrong with me? Oh well. You're gonna do it big, right? You're gonna go big. Go big, baby. Go big. I'm getting so hungry. Are you guys ready for Thanksgiving? I am gonna gorge on Thanksgiving. It's what we do. Which is, it's fun because I eat a big, giant fucking amount of food, and then I come home and I drink like 2 pots of coffee, and then I come home and I have a big bag of like prime rib, chicken, pizza, and all kinds of stuff for the dogs, and they just go crazy. And it's like, a beautiful family holiday movie. So I got that going for me. And so I hope you guys are looking forward to Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to it. My friends are coming. I'm going to be with friends. I'm going to be with family, which are the same thing for me. And we're gonna gorge, and we're gonna treat the puppies, and and I think we're gonna make videos because I think my Craig's son is coming over, who I like to refer to as my stepson, which freaks everybody out when I do it. But I'm telling you, the bigger part of his growing up than his mom was, so you know. But anyways, he's coming over, and he's a video genius. So he's gonna come up, and he gets the OBS. He's been working with the OBS for about a year now. So he's gonna come up, and we're gonna do some new trippy stuff with the OBS. He's gonna show me this, he's gonna show me that, and he's gonna show me how to make backgrounds, and I think maybe I'll try and get him involved in 1 or 2 unboxing videos if he sticks around for more than one night. But we'll see. So, Should be fun. Should be fun weekend. Oh, I know. You guys think I should do a show on Thanksgiving evening? Is that something you guys would be interested in? Because I'll be here like at 7 p.m. And I don't know. You guys haven't told me. Do you think I'm making? Do you think I'm making too many? Are we doing too many live shows? Should it be fewer than 5 nights a week? Because I want to, because it's about you guys. You know, it's about all of us. You guys need to be involved in the situation, in these thoughts. You know, and I'm good to do it 5 nights a week. I'm not trying to get out of being in place to make this happen. I'm not wanting to. I don't want you guys getting tired of my face, basically. You know, or my voice, or whatever it is that you might decide you've had enough of this week. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys think, you know, that you have any thoughts on the matter, please let me know. Otherwise, when Craig starts doing, when Craig starts getting the swag ready, we will send out business cards with all the T-shirts. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, this is Ryan from Northern California.
Hey, Ryan from Northern California. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you, man?
I'm pretty good.
Well, I figured I'd call in. I haven't called in a while. But I've been watching your new show, the weekly show. It's pretty impressive.
Right on. Well, I'm glad you're around, Ryan. It makes me feel more confident to know that you're glad that that you're tuning in. So, do you think I should continue to do it 5 nights a week, or you think that might be too much?
Well, I'd say that's up to you. I can't catch you 5 nights a week. I probably only tune in like 2 or 3 because I got things going on.
Man's got to have priorities, Ryan.
Well, sure, but I do like your show. I mean, we got a small group of people here that have great opinions.
It's good. It's good to have people who are thinkers around you.
And one thing I wanted to say, I do like the new format. The only thing is the nanoblots are a little bit distracting.
Yeah, I know. I've been. We did a fish aquarium last night, and we're working on other backgrounds. I think that the fractals are a little bit distracting, also. I sometimes, when there's someone talking, when a caller is talking, sometimes I get lost in the fractals, and then they ask me a question, and I'm like, I'm all hypnotized, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, otherwise, it seems like you're on the money as far as, I mean, you got a great format.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
A couple of things I wanted to bring up was I noticed you promote Tulsi Gabbard a lot, and I know that we all want somebody to root for, but personally, I don't think she's the one.
Well, who do you think is the one?
Well, I don't think anybody is the one, unfortunately. I think the system's so screwed at this point that we don't have a chance of getting somebody straight in there. We don't have a chance of giving anybody that's going to care about the people up in that position of power.
Well, I don't think that Tulsi has much of a chance of getting there because of the Democratic Party hating her and repeatedly stating, as a matter of fact, that she's not a real Democrat. But I think that if she was there, that I believe that she would care about the people. I really do.
Well, but you have to look. I mean, we're talking about Major Gabbard here. I mean, she's a career military person. You have to consider that.
I agree. I feel somewhat hypocritical by even supporting her because because I've said again and again and again to people, you have to stop voting for these military people and cops. People put military people and cops into Congress again and again and again, and then you wonder why we live in a fucking police state, you know?
Yeah, and why we're in continuous wars.
Yeah, but the thing is Tulsi talks like she wants to bring the troops home and stop these wars, you know? And nobody else really talks like that.
Sure.
So
Well,
that's
I mean,
and the thing is, and
let's give Trump,
let me just say something.
let's give Trump a little bit of credit now.
Well, let me say something, Ryan. And it's not that she says that she wants to bring the troops home. It's that you see these other people who are military people, like Buttigieg, like Tim Ryan was a Iraq War veteran, and then there's a whole bunch more of them in Congress. I mean, not as much as you would think would be, but there's quite a few of them, and they all come across like war hawks. And I don't think that Tulsi is a dove, but she doesn't come across like someone who looks forward to more war like these other people, like these other veterans.
Well, but she has gotten a paycheck for that for quite a long time, though, right?
But she's a medic, and she does it in order to, she's there to help people. That's why she said she joined the military, was to help people. That's why she's a medic. That's why she volunteered to go to Iraq at the height of combat, because she knew that there was people there she could help.
What about the I just saw something about her where they have a photo of her with Antifa. What about that?
I don't know. What is it that you saw?
So supposedly there's a photo circling the web right now of her with the head of Portland Antifa.
Again, you have to meet with, they have pictures of her with Assad too, and that's because you have to meet with people. You have to, you have to reach out, you have to talk to these people in order to know who it is they are and know what's going on.
True.
She went to Syria. Everybody holds that against her. You met with the dictator in Syria. She went to Syria specifically, she said, because the Pentagon had just lied us into a war in Iraq. And she wanted, which meant what they're saying is not trustworthy, and I need to know what's happening so where I know where I stand. Okay, and that doesn't sound like your general military industrial complex type, right?
True. Now I'm pretty sure that the Constitution says we're not supposed to have a standing army, so I don't think we should be in any other country.
I'm all for that. Bring home all the troops. Ron Paul used to talk about that all the time. Bring home all the troops. Bring them home now. He said, we just went over there in the blink of an eye. We can bring them all home just as fast. Let's do it now. Let's start now. They'll be out by the end of this next presidency.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we should be doing. Now, one thing I wanted to say about Trump was that, as far as I'm concerned, in my lifetime, he's the only president that has not started a war. He has not invaded a country.
I think that you're correct, but I don't trust the information. I've heard that he's done more drone strikes than Obama, though. So
yeah, and the drone strikes are pretty dirty.
So the drone strikes just create terrorists because they kill a lot of innocent people, like in Yemen. When you see the drone strikes in Yemen, and they hit a school bus full of children on the way to school, that's what a drone strike looks like. Okay?
Exactly.
And that's why I was so disappointed in Obama, because of his use of that shit. But then, I guess he did unconstitutional wars also, as you're saying, like with Libya and such. So.
In Syria, they get over there.
I agree. Well, Ryan, what's going on this weekend, man? You got anything happening?
Not a whole lot. Just doing my thing, I guess.
What about Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving, I don't have any plans right now. Just eating turkey, I guess.
Eating turkey sounds like a pretty good plan to me. Eating turkey sounds like a pretty good plan to me, man.
Yeah, that's all you can do these days.
You gotta find. Look, you gotta find the good wherever it is. Wherever you are, there's good. You just have to look for it, and focus on that if that's what it is that you want to experience. Because a lot of people don't want to experience good, but it is around you, and you can experience it, and you can be part of it. But we
make our own reality.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a secret that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah. I fucking made a, I fucking, I fucking, I just fucking made a brand new fucking grow light happen out of nothing. Do you hear that story?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught that.
Okay, so get this, right? When I got the tent from the horticulture lighting group guys, right, I wasn't expecting them to send a tent. I was expecting them to send one light to fill my Gorilla Grow tent. But before I got the Gorilla Grow tent, I was looking all over the internet for a tent, right? And they have these ones that are like two to three compartments, but they're small. They're like 4 by 5. No, let's see. They're I don't know. They were small, right? And I kept thinking, man, if I could get a 4x6 tent, which I looked back and forth across the internet, there was a 3-compartment tent. It'd be fucking perfect. I could have the ultimate grow setup, perpetual grow setup forever, you know. And I looked and I looked and I looked, and there was none. And then these guys send me a light, and they send me the tent that I've been looking for everywhere. And I didn't even expect them to send me a tent. That's my light for you.
So what do you yield out of your tent that you have now?
I'm not yielding anything yet, but I'm
Well,
hoping.
because I saw you, like a couple weeks ago or months ago, I saw you harvest and you're trimming on live or whatever.
Oh,
What did you yield that time?
That was the backyard. That was the backyard with the auto flowers. So the auto flowers yield about most of them yield. I'd say they average about an ounce a plant. So we got they probably average about an ounce a plant. We got about 12 ounces out of that backyard.
Oh, not bad, I guess. Because I'm down here in Northern California where plants yield 2 pounds to 10 pounds.
Yeah, well, autoflowers don't do that so much. There's a couple of them that might, but yeah, I know I see those giant plants. I don't think you can do. I don't know if you can do that in a tent, but I'm gonna see. I believe that I can get this with these 2 tents. The setup that I have now, which I'm gonna be videoing and sharing with everybody right in the near future here. I will be. I think I can get probably if I fine tune it. I think I can get about a pound a month.
Yeah, that's not bad then. What's the wattage in the light?
There's one of them's about 500, and the other one's about 400 and something, 440. But they're like really high tech. I mean, they have like the Sony chips in them, and they have the super drivers and everything. So they're
Is it LEDs in it?
Yeah, LEDs. Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, I think they have Samsung lights, the Samsung LED. So it's like really nice, very high power. You guys will see them in the next 2 weeks. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for the light to get to me that I just ordered, but we're going to start doing unboxing videos here. I'm thinking, like I said, when my roommate's son comes over, he's a video guy, and I see if I can get him to help me with some of the unboxing videos. So that'll be this Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think so. It should be a lot of fun. I think actually it's going to be a really exciting project because these 2 lamps I have are like they're very big competitors, and I'll be able to put them side by side, and I have plenty of seeds to do the exact same strains in 2 separate tents, and it's gonna be a pretty cool grow, dude.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, you guys probably have some interesting strains up there in Washington, I bet.
I got strains from all over the world. I don't really have any from Washington. I got seeds from Trump. I have there's a company called Trump Seeds out of Great Britain, so I have Trump seeds, and I got some really cool. They're mostly Bruce Banner crosses, and I have like I said, I have over 60 strains to grow, so should be a lot of fun.
Huh.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Right on. Well, thanks so much.
You guys stay rested, huh?
Well, you know what? I have this opportunity to make this happen, and it seems like it's like I keep telling these sponsors, when I write them, is that every cannabis lover, every real cannabis lover has at one time or another fantasized about having their own garden, you know, and
Sure.
you know, I have this opportunity to have this amazing garden, so I feel like I have to take the opportunity, you know.
Well, from personal experience, when I was first able to plant a seed, or I guess I started with palms, but when I first was able to get my own grow going, that was freedom for sure. I felt more free in America than I ever had before.
It's like I said, every cannabis lover has fantasized about it at least once or twice, and in their lifetime, about having a big old fucking bush that they can just go and chop flowers off.
Exactly.
Yep. All right, Ryan. Hey, I'm really glad you called, man. I hope we hear from you again soon. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. If we don't hear from you before then,
All right, man. Peace.
stay cool. Okay. So, and I'm really just relaxed. I'm just easing into this relax mode, which is what I need desperately because of the stress from the YouTube and the Google. People are like, calm down. I'm like, well, I'm having a great day. You understand? I just got a $700 roller. Well, I didn't get it, but I just ordered it on Amazon. Thanks to the company who sent me the $700 so I could buy it. And they're a Chinese company. So like, I look in my PayPal and it's all, you have money, and I look and it's all Chinese writing. I go, whoa, cool. I thought that I didn't expect that. Anyways, so we got that going for us, and that should be really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to sharing it with all of you. And hello, caller.
Michael. Michael.
Hey, Pete. It sounds like those brownies are kicking in today.
Yeah, sounds like they kicked in for you too, bro.
Well, I'm having a good day, Pete. I just fucking pretty much secured the garden of my dreams, dude.
Dude, when I called, when I called yesterday, I totally lost focus. Like I was in the middle. If you go back and listen to the broadcast yesterday, I was in the middle of trying to make a point, and then the brownies just hit me like a fucking brick wall, and then I totally forgot the point that I was trying to make, and I just went silent.
Dude, I just love it when I go out with the dogs and I eat a brownie before I go out, and I'm walking, and then I go, there it is. Oh yes, holy shit, that's good.
Dude, listen to the broadcast last night. It hit me like a fucking wall. I was like incapacitated on the phone instantly. It was somewhat embarrassing. But
and then you hung up on me. Only Troy hung up on me.
No, I did hang up on you. But I wasn't trolling you. I was trolling Wilco. Wilco, as you know, is my arch nemesis. So, Wilco and I have like, a Stone Cold and the Rock type relationship. There's a little bit of a rivalry going on there.
Every yin must have its yang.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we balance each other out. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
So, Pete, are you getting Thanksgiving off, right?
Of course, Mike.
Yeah. Do you get like a 4-day weekend or?
Absolutely.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, gonna be chilling with the family. Having some nice turkey. I'm gonna bring some fucking pot brownies. People are gonna get fucking lit off these fucking brownies.
They don't.
I'm gonna dose the fam.
No. You can't do it without telling them.
No, see, there's
no fun if you tell them.
You can't do it without telling them, dude. You have to tell them, these are pot brownies, only have one.
No, of course, Michael. I'm a responsible adult. I'm gonna tell them, look, I got some dank ass Candace butter in these brownies. So you guys, at your leisure, enjoy.
Well, okay,
And,
okay,
yeah,
Pete. Well,
I mean-
promise me that over your 4-day weekend, you will try and have a brownie first thing in the morning, at least one day.
Mike, I don't know if I can do that.
You have to try it, Pete. That's
Well,
the only.
on the weekend, Mike, on the weekend, I'll eat brownies all day. All day, I'll eat brownies. But if I'm
Just
at
have
work,
one in the morning. I'm not
if I-
saying at work. I told you this yesterday. Not at work. I said on your 4-day weekend, you have to promise me
oh,
to try it
dude,
at
no,
least one
well,
day.
you don't have to tell Mike. At work, sorry, on my weekends, I'm lit all day. I'm high as soon as I wake up in the fucking morning, I'm fucking getting big.
Because that's the best way to know actually how powerful your brownies are. This is why, and this is what I suggest to everyone. If you really want to know how strong your brownies are or how well they work for you, the best thing to do is take one in the morning and then just go about your normal day. And I'm not talking about work.
Right.
I'm just
Mike,
talking about whatever
yeah.
it is you make happen in your weekend day when you have your time off, and you will find that they are a little more than if you have them at night after you've eaten and done all your chores and your long day work. They have quite a different effect if you take them in the morning.
You're absolutely right, because I wanted to test out that, Mike, if I do the same thing, but when I want to test out the potency, I take my edibles at work. Because when I'm at work is when I really need to be on my feet.
You just yelled at me saying, no, I can't do that. Rah, 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 rah.
That's why I'm saying don't do it, because you get fucked up at work. but that's the best way. That's the best way to gauge, how much your edibles are affecting you. Because at work I need to be, on top of my game.
Not at work.
And I need to be a scientist.
Everyone, this is not good advice. What you need to do is test your edibles is simply on your day off to eat one early in the day.
Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
Early in the day and go about your normal day. If if you're doing whatever it is you would normally do on your weekend, just have an edible early as opposed to doing all your work first and using up all this energy. What I'm saying is when you have it in the morning and you have all this morning energy to get you through your day, it affects you in a different way. And I think it's a really incredibly good way. So please try if you can to take a brownie in the morning. I'm not talking about you, Pete. I know you're high 420 all day every day, man. I know.
Yeah, I'm out right now. I got my half pound in the freezer. I gotta pull it out tonight and make some brownies in the morning for this thing.
I gotta go to the store. I gotta go to the store and get eggs, man.
God damn it, the constant struggle of making wheat brownies. How do we do it?
I don't know how we put up with this shit.
Yeah, I have a dank ass half pound of that butter in my freezer right now, and I'm gonna bust that shit out tomorrow morning. First thing when I wake up, crack in the morning. It's probably not gonna be that early because I've been fucking chugging whiskey sours and I'm fucking wasted. So I probably won't wake up till about noon tomorrow. But
that sounds like
first thing I do when I wake up, I'm gonna fucking go get some brownie mix and make some fucking dank ass brownies. It's gonna be good. And you know what? I have a half pound of butter, right? I got a half pound of pretty dank ass butter, and I think I'm actually going to, the typical brownie recipe recommends that you add like a third of a cup. I'm gonna do a whole cup, and in fact, I might even cut the batch size in half, right? They recommend you add like a whole package of brownie mix for a third cup. I'm gonna add a pound of butter and half of the recommendation, bro. And that's gonna be a dank ass batch of pounders. I'm gonna get fucking licked.
Heat. And then what? You're gonna make more butter for fucking Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
You
And
are.
I will disclose to my family and make it very clear that I have a dessert that is very tasty and delicious, and it may also get you with as fuck.
Space cakes, everyone. I have space cakes.
And my family gets down, so they'll chomp on those down.
Right on. That's awesome, dude. It sounds like a very fun Thanksgiving.
I think I'll get everyone way too fucked up though, because my tolerance is like 20 million times what they're. I don't think too many people in my family are used to eating weed. So when you eat weed for the first time, it really fucks you up. So yeah.
That's why I was saying you
Yeah,
can't not. It's not even just the first time. For those of you who don't know, if you haven't eaten weed in a long time, if you don't eat it for like a month or so, and then you eat weed, you're like, whoa, what's happening? But it goes away after you eat the second brownie the next day or whatever. So.
Yeah, the first time, none of my family members have really eaten much weed. Except for my sister. My sister eats a lot of weed. But, yeah.
She sounds like fun.
Yeah,
Is
be
she
careful.
married?
No, she is. My sister, actually, it's interesting. My sister is a sweet girl. I'm 32, and my sister is, 2 years older. She's 34. And, she's like, hey, I just met this fine young man who I'm going to bring, to our birthdays. We just had a recent birthday gathering, and she brought her boyfriend down. And her boyfriend, my sister, for some reason, she has an affinity for very large men. She tends to only date like guys that are like above 6'5", like large men. So every time I have to introduce myself to my sister's
short?
boyfriend.
Is she short?
My sister is about like 6 feet tall.
Oh, okay. Well, then you
But
think
she-
she'd be with someone bigger,
Yeah. Well, it's fucked up. Like women have this thing where like they always want to date a guy that's like at least a foot taller than them. 'Cause women, that's how it is. Like women want to feel small. They want to feel petite with their man. Generally speaking, I don't know. I don't want to speak for all women, but I think a lot of women feel that way. And my sister only dates guys like my sister is my height. Like I'm like 6 feet, 6'2", and my sister's the same height, and she only dates guys that are at least like got like a half a foot on me.
Wow.
She just brings these fucking giant Viking men to fucking family dinners. I'm like, hey, nice to meet you, peers. Fucking giant Viking men,
As long as they eat brownies,
whatever,
as long as they eat pot brownies, they're cool with you, though, right?
Hey man, as long as they treat my sister good and they like to get fucked up, I'm good.
Right on, Pete. It sounds like you're gonna have a fun weekend, dude. Do you have to travel? Do you have to travel to get there, or is it close to where you live?
No, well, I live in Rhode Island. I live in the fine state of Rhode Island, and I gotta tell you, man, Rhode Island is the best state in the world. And anyone that wants to hit on Rhode Island off like some hard. And we live right next to the fine state of Massachusetts, and Massachusetts. Rhode Island is not so friendly to recreational cannabis, but Massachusetts is, and I can very easily just drive right next door into Massachusetts and get some fine dispensary level, quality, just quality herb concentrates. You name it, I can go there.
Nice.
The taxes are a little crazy.
The taxes are totally retarded, man.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but some people prefer it. Honestly, it's uh, if you're like an older person in particular, and a lot of people can only get their herbs from sketchy people. So it's nice to have the dispensary alternative where you can go
It's
and
like a,
see a legitimate person.
it's like going to the candy store, man. You go. I mean, have you ever seen? I don't know. Do you watch the South Park? I love the South Park. They did an episode about medical marijuana, where they took the medical marijuana shops in Colorado, took over all the Kentucky Fried Chickens, and
Of course, I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, and he walks into the medical marijuana store and he goes, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, we sell medical marijuana." He's like, "Really? Just out in the open?" And he's like, "I'll take a half pound of this and a half pound of that." And I mean, it's like the candy store, I want it all. Give it to me now, which is cool.
Well, not anymore. I mean, because when I used to go to a dispensary, it was for vapes. I used to buy vape. I was big into vape cartridges, but as you know, as we've discussed, the vapes are banned, and we've argued about this, before about the whole vape thing. In fact, you actually yelled at me the other night when I said that I was happy that the vape ban happened.
The
And
bans don't work, Pete.
I know, Mike. We've been over this. You're. I know. I see it. Hey, look, man. Look, Mike. You know me. I'm a conservative guy. I don't believe in any state. I don't believe in big government. I don't believe in any of that bullshit. I believe that people should be free to consume whatever they want, and I believe it's the same thing with like abortion, like pro-choice and pro-life.
Right. If you don't like abortions, don't have one.
Dude, I mean, people have. My point is that like people have the choice to do whatever they want with their bodies, and that's fine. If you want to, if you want to, in this instance, if you want to vape this vape oil, that's fine. But it's there's a lot of scientific data to suggest that vaping these concentrates is very, very dangerous. And we already talked about this. I don't need to regurgitate myself, but vaping is dangerous, and the healthy alternative is eating it.
Eat marijuana. Eat marijuana. Eat marijuana. No, eat marijuana. Everybody should eat marijuana. Fucking A, man. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
It's meant to be. It's meant to be consumed by us on a regular basis. Not necessarily to get high, but I'm guaranteeing you, it's meant to be part of our regular diet, and we're not getting that. That's the end. And it's by design. And it's hurting our entire community, our entire humanity. Go ahead, Steve.
Yes, I mean, we have these, as you mentioned, we have these cannabinoid receptors, excuse me. Oh, pardon me. The whiskey sours are kicking in. Yes, we have these cannabinoid receptors for the brain. And, there's a reason for that, as you said, and, I do think that there's like this weird evolutionary thing to this where we did evolve with cannabis. I believe that. And I think cannabis is essential to our evolution and development as a species. I believe this.
I think it's an important part of the healing that the planet needs to go through also. Like I said, I believe it's a crime against humanity for cannabis to have been taken from humans, because that's how important it is to us. And
yeah.
And I don't know. Anyways, I hope that you have a great weekend. If I don't talk to you before then, okay, Pete?
Are you cutting me off again, Mike?
Why? Do you have something more you want to say, Pete?
Sure, I could talk all fucking night, but I mean, sounds like you're cutting me off, brah. Cut me off, bro. Bro.
Pete,
Bro.
Pete, I'm hungry.
I will talk all night, Mike. I got plenty of discussions to talk about. Okay, hold on. Oh,
Okay, Pete.
okay, look. I do have a lot of things Mike, I took notes. I wrote notes down.
Hey, Pete.
There was,
Go ahead.
yes,
Go ahead. There was what?
I have notes. Mike, I took notes. I wanted to talk to
There
you.
was what? There was
Hello?
what? There was what, Pete?
Hold on. I have notes.
Pete. Hungry.
Are you hungry? Go ahead and eat. Hold on.
I gotta go make a pizza. Speaking of which, if anybody wants to kick down for pizza, I like pizza, and I am working on big things for this community.
Okay. Mike,
Yes, Pete.
trade war with China. What do you think? Do you think that it's good that, Trump is kind of saying, hey, fuck you, China. We have tariffs on your products. We're going to start taxing you motherfuckers because we need to start making things in America. What do you think about that,
I don't
Mike?
know, Pete. Do you think it's good? Do you think that it's good that people have to pay 25% more for stuff because Trump thinks because Trump thinks that he's gonna make something good happen by slapping tariffs on people?
I do.
So you think they should pay 25% more for stuff then?
I do.
Okay.
I do, Mike.
Because
Honestly, Mike,
I'm not a big consumer, Pete. So I don't really know. I get stuff given to me. I buy food, and that's about it. I grow my own weed. I've never bought a computer. I don't own a cell phone. I mean, I have a couple of them, but they were given to me. I'm not a big consumer, but I don't think that it works out well for the middle class when they have to pay more for their normal things.
Well, here's the theory behind it. I think is I think Trump legitimate, as much of a fucking asshole as Trump is, he's a buffoon, he's an idiot, he's a clown, really. But I think he does legitimately believe in, he wants America to be kind of independent and self-sufficient and not be dependent on other countries for our goods and so forth. So, that's why this whole trade war thing is such an issue. And I do think that in this particular instance, I agree with it. Like, yeah, we need to pay more for goods that we get from other countries because we need to learn to start making this fucking shit ourselves. America is perfectly capable of making all this shit ourselves. We're fucking Americans, okay? This is the red, white, and blue, baby. We're the best. We're the fucking best that exists on this fucking planet, and we can do it better than anybody. And we're gonna do it.
Where did you get this? Where did you get this?
And we need to be the people. Mike, listen to me. We need to be the people that are at the heart of
about America. Who taught you to be so prideful about America?
Mike, I don't know the answer to that question. I think Mike,
kind of embarrassed about the way America acts in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but look, Mike, America has been a fucked up country for far longer than I have been alive. Look, I was born in 1986, Mike. I'm 32 years old, and I was born into this shit. I didn't make it.
I didn't start the fire. It was always burning, and the world was turning. Go ahead.
Absolutely, dude. And I'm just reacting. I'm just trying to live in the world that I was born into. And, you know, the way I see it, I do believe that America is, we're the best. We're the fucking best. And, I think,
the best.
absolutely, we are. We are. We're the
Okay.
fucking best.
Okay. Well, that's good, Pete. I hate our government.
I do too. I'm not saying I don't hate our government. I hate our government. But I'm saying I love America. I love the American people.
Except for Wolko.
Well, Wilco, you know, Wilco's my rival.
He's your nemesis.
He is my nemesis. You know, he's like, I'm like The Rock and he's Stone Cold. You know, we don't get along. You know, actually, I do like Wilco. I just fuck with him. You know, I don't really dislike him. I just fuck with him.
I think the feeling's mutual. Hey Pete, again, I hope
No,
you have a great weekend. Okay, I wanna see if anybody else wants to call, and then I want to get some food. All right.
I wasn't even done talking about what I wanted to say.
Okay, go ahead, Pete.
We were gonna get into this whole discussion about government.
You want to talk about Trump doing the right thing with tariffs? I don't think that that's what's happening. I don't like Trump, and I don't want to give him credit. You know, look, if I see factories opening and stuff like that happening, I don't see that happening. Do you actually see that happening, Pete?
I'm sorry. What do you mean?
Do you see
Clarify
factory
more, please.
manufacturing type jobs? You're saying we can do that all here. We can do all the manufacturing. We can make all this stuff in our country because we're the best. So we should be making it here. Do you see those factories opening and making stuff here in this country, Pete?
Oh, that's a great question, Mike. Well, see, the thing about China, like, I think China doesn't have a lot of the regulations that we have. Like, in America, like the pharmaceutical industry in particular, and I can tell you because I'm working in the pharmaceutical industry is so highly our regulations are crazy compared to like what goes on in China, and so that's why it's easier for companies to do business in China because they don't have the same regulations that we do, and that's kind of fucked up. That's kind of that gives Asia and China a little bit of an advantage about what we do, but a lot of look, okay, let me slow down here. I work at a pharmaceutical company, Mike. I know I told you this.
Hey Pete,
And,
I want to go. Okay, I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm sorry. I'm
sorry. I'm hungry and I don't know. I have other things going on. So
I'm sorry.
I don't feel like
Sorry,
talking
I
about
understand.
this conversation right now. And you
Sorry,
have
sorry.
notes and everything, and I feel unprepared. So, all right. And I don't mean to
I'm
yell at
sorry.
you. You don't need to apologize. You're great, and I'm glad you're here. And I'm not trying to chase you off. I'm trying to.
I totally understand, Mike. Before I sign off, I just want to say I love you, and you're the best, and God bless.
Okay. Hey Pete, I hope you.
I love you,
I
Mike.
hope you have a great weekend with your family. It sounds like a lot of fun. I hope it's as much fun as it sounds like, man.
Mike, I got too deep. I tried to go too deep. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And dude, I love you. I love you so much. I think what you're doing is great. You're a healer. Like, you are a healer. You are healing the American people.
And you're
I
helping,
love it.
Pete, and you're helping. Okay. So thanks for that.
God bless.
Okay.
Mwah.
I'll talk to you again soon. I'll talk with you again soon. Oh man. Okay, Pete is definitely ready for his weekend. Okay, so I am I'm not hangry. I'm not hangry at all. I'm just hungry. I'm glad that we are doing this. I'm still trying to find out if you guys think we should do it less. You know, if you think that 5 nights a week is too much. Because I'm not, soon we're going to have a garden. And once we have the garden, then we can put that up in the background. I think that will look really pretty. You know, we do like, we probably even put a live camera over in the background of each tent, inside each tent, and then feed it into the OBS. I think that will look really cool. And put it up on the green screen, right? So, anyways, that's what we have going on. There's stuff happening. I want you to understand, I'm not doing anything. When I'm telling you my story about making something amazing happen today, I'm not doing anything. Okay, I'm in the process of setting up an ultimate, perpetual garden. Something that I'm gonna bring out £1 of weed a month. I hope, once I figure out how to grow weed. Oh man, one of these days I'm gonna figure out this. And that's the thing, is I keep asking myself, what is it that you want? Because when I go, ooh, I want that, it seems like I can make it happen. So I keep going, what is it that you want, man? What is it that you want? And one of the things that I keep saying is I want to read. So I'm not sure that it's true. I think it might just be a thought that's in my head that I want to grow weed. But I want to grow weed. I want to grow pretty flowers. I have the opportunity to make this cool thing happen. I have like an ultimate dream setup. I'm this close, man. I need a couple fans, and that's about it. Okay, a couple fans. I have 60 strains of weed to grow, 19 different companies, and I could get more tomorrow, but I've held off on getting more because I have 60 strains to grow. I'd like to grow some of them first. There's a couple of strains that I'm looking at going, I want to get those, but and I might go ahead and ask people for more seeds, which I should ask people for more seeds because I have so many seeds already. It's just not right. I'm gonna make shit happen. Once I start making shit happen, though, I'm gonna get more strains and more stuff. And who knows? Maybe we'll fill the garage with tents, and then we'll fill the fucking shed with tents, and we'll have them in the backyard. No, I can grow 15 plants, so I think we got about enough tents right now. But we got that going for us. And I'm very excited about it. It should be awesome. So, I am going to go make a pizza, and Mox News survives solely on contributions from good people like you. So if you want to kick down for a pizza, that would be super generous of you. What we do here is pretty obvious, as I've stated again and again. We make these archives of videos that are of value to all humanity. And when you contribute to Mox News, when you give something back to Mox News, that's what you help make happen. So thank you to all the people who have helped make that happen for more than a decade. For more than a decade, that's what I've been doing with my life. I've been of value to all humanity. Isn't that cool? Just imagine if this was Mox News, and that YouTube had never taken down a single video that I had posted. There'd be like 70,000 videos on this one Mox News YouTube page. No one could deny that it would be of value to all humanity. A living history dating back to the election between George W. Bush and John Kerry, and all the millions and millions and millions of comments that would have been collected. Just this living document, this living piece of history. And because Google and YouTube is so short-sighted, I don't get it. You even more sad, even more ugly, you don't get to happen. The world doesn't get to happen. So if you want to keep someone who makes things like that happen in the world at service to you, please get something back, because that's how Mox News has been able to make this happen, is people giving something back. So it's easy to do at moxnews.com, or there's clickable links in the text body of this video, right? So, and we're doing this every Monday through Friday for the time being. We may change it up a little bit, but every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. And I'm not sure if we're going to do a Thanksgiving show or not. Nobody said if they're going to be around for Thanksgiving to do a show. I might come out to see if anybody's here for Thanksgiving and do a show. You know, I'm not sure yet. But there's a bunch of stuff in the works. So I don't want you to think that just because I'm not posting the daily news at this moment doesn't mean that I'm not making anything happen. I make things happen all the time. And I'm glad that you've been part of it for however long you have. Thanks very much for being part of that. So cool. Okay, you guys, so stay cool, because one of these days this war is going to end, and it's going to end because of something like this, where you and I and everyone else comes together and we talk things out and make something and reprioritize what it is that the human race is going to be making happen on this planet. Okay? So stay cool till that day.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com